Greetings to everyone out there in YouTube land. I'm Ahmed Hassanin, and I just want to give a shout out to Coach Dan. Thank you for all the support you show the team and the players. Everyone hit the like, subscription button, and yell woo in the comments. Thank you, and go Lions.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton. Hey, I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Lions Talk Live. It is the morning before perhaps the biggest game in NFL history when it comes to a Thanksgiving Day game. You get it. The NFC North, the NFC as a whole, the playoff race, it's all on the line for both teams tomorrow. You lose this game, you might not be getting into the playoffs. You might fall out of total race for the NFC North, and everything in between. Both teams are going to come into this game ready to fight, knowing if you don't win, your season might be done. We'll have to see how it shakes out tomorrow. We're going to talk about that during the main topic today. We also got some phenomenal news if you're a Detroit Lions fan. Yes, you're getting some people back, some big additions to this team. And you know what? These guys are going to make impacts on multiple different layers across the board for the franchise and the organization as we go into the final 6 games of the regular season. Before we get into all that, I want to play a few things for you guys before we get into the 5 headlines now and everything in between. First one, hey, you want to watch victory being snatched from the mouths of somebody who thinks they're going to win? Let's watch. I saw this video. I was like, man, watch the body language on the New York Giants during this. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Bates is ready. Snap, spot, kick away. It is up, and it is good. He got it. Jake Bates sends it through.
You watch as the New York football players, I mean, some are going, nah, it's no good. And the one guy, he's got his back to it. He's fully convinced that kick's not going good. He's just going like this. And then he turns around and says, what? It went in? So if you guys are watching the live cast, I initially said when that kick was going up, man, it's no good. And then that thing boomerang shot back. All right, we're going to get into a couple things, the 5 headlines now, etc. Before we get into the main topic days, we also got a bunch of notes for you guys to throw out there today. I'm trying a few more things with the show. Real quick, though, before we do, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're roughly 25 subs away from hitting 15,700. If you can help out with that, I would be very thankful. This going into Thanksgiving, so what it did, thankful. Also, if you have a half second of time, it's free of charge, doesn't cost a dime. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. We try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 or more. Thumbs up or likes. Last but never least, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, where I reside, or the continental United States of America, go ahead and give me a call, shoot me a text. You see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. You want somebody who's going to make sure they try to save you money, save you hassle, save you from getting jobbed by anybody in the industry, then go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. We'll go from there. I'll use over 30 years of experience to help do justice by you. All right, all that done, settled away. Let's get some of these going. First of all, before we get into the 5 headlines now, special shout out to Lomas Brown. He has made it to the next level of consideration for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you had never watched him play, he's probably the best left tackle in Detroit Lions history. At least we can say, in the modern era. No disrespect to Taylor, Decker, or anybody else who's played. There's been some good ones. But, hey, Brown was special. He was phenomenal. And the fact that he could just power, grind, help people out, help cover for the guard, everything. He was very athletic, great human being. Met him many times, gave him a few interviews, and very kind and gracious at all times. Next shout out here, Aiden Hutchinson. I get Mike Valetti might have his opinion on stats. You can have your own opinion. Only thing I can tell you is for the third most, tied for the third most of any player in NFL history, is logged through, I can't even read it. Was it 50 games? 89 quarterback hits for Aiden Hutchinson. He does get hits on the quarterback. We all get it. Some people kind of poo-poo and some of the stats he's putting up. I'll leave you to your own devices on that. Speaking of more stuff for you, the only player in NFL history to record 10-plus rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown in each of their first 3 career seasons. That's right, Gibbs stands alone. There was, I thought, an interesting take from Terry Foster, who is a legendary sports reporter in Detroit. He's covered multiple different sports for the Detroit News. I want to say since, the late 70s. And he said he thinks when it's all said and done, when Gibbs retires, he'll be considered better than Barry Sanders. I'm not here to debate who's better or anything like that. I try to stay away from that stuff. The only thing I can say is they're both pretty dang good. How about that? All right, next one I got for you. Pop up here. Like I said, I'm trying to throw a few more things at you guys before we get into the topics. The only teams in NFL history to produce 24-plus passing touchdowns, 15-plus rushing touchdowns, and 8 or fewer turnovers through their first 11 games of any season. That's right, the Detroit Lions of this season and the 2012 New England Patriots. So how about that? A couple more, and then we'll get into the news. From the Detroit Lions PR, Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs are the first duo in franchise history to each log 875-plus scrimmage yards and 9-plus touchdowns through the first 11 games of the season. How about that? Going on to the next one. In case I know a lot of you guys pay attention to uniforms, these are actually my favorite Lions uniforms. I think I've said that 1,000 times on the show, but I do love the 1920s throwback ones. And guess what? We're getting 1920s throwbacks for this game. All right. And then from the PR department again, Jake Bates. Hey, talk about a phenomenal punter, even though we might not always use him. Let's see, first in punts inside the 10. He's got 11 first in percentage of inside the 10 punts. So you can see it. We'll just round up and say 27. Second inside the 20 and second in percentages inside the 20. So how about that? All right. So with all that done, set out of the way, let's go ahead and get this show going forward and starting with 5 headlines now. If I can get this dang thing to move on the screen. If not, then I guess I'll just skip that pop-up for whatever reason. It's just not moving. All right. We'll skip it. We won't use it. We'll just go ahead and get into 5 headlines now. Without the formalities. All right, Detroit Lions hold steady in NFL power rankings after Giants win. Detroit Lions on S side, John Macaron with this one. Probably not a huge surprise to anybody. You know, you can have your opinion on power rankings. Mine are, I don't really pay attention to them. I don't really worry about somebody else's opinion to where you're going to rank somebody within the organization or a league. But for those who do, we've got you covered. Power ranking this week from Sports Illustrated, they moved up to number 6. Last week, they were number 8. Power ranking from ESPN, they hold steady at number 8. Say the Lions can compete with anybody on the list, and I'm paraphrasing here. Just the Lions obviously have gotten in their own way a little bit. There's some questions about the Lions offense, not so much the Lions defense. And that's a little surprising given the fact we gave up 500-plus yards last week. The Athletic, they're going to also keep the Lions at 8 from week to week. CBS Sports, last week they were 10. This week they're number 8. The Ringer moves us from 8 to 6. And then we've got Sporting News kept us at 10. USA Today moved us from 10 to 9. Bleacher Report has got us going from 8 last week to 9. So we actually moved down in theirs. Yahoo Sports took us from 10 to 9, and that rounds out, for the most of the national media, your power rankings. All right, let me move on to the next of the 5 glorious headlines now. Let's see. Here we go. This year's Lions have shown why they have staying power while other teams don't. SI.com, story by Michael Rosenberg. I think there's a whole lot of good truth in this article. If you guys get an opportunity to check it out, I would highly encourage it. I enjoyed reading through it, and here's what I can say. In a nutshell, we all can have our opinions on why Brad Holmes doesn't make more moves, trades, etc. But we can also say, whether you like every draft pick or every free agent signing they make, have your own opinion. My opinion is this. They hit on way more than they don't. And this is the first time, really since the 90s, so only the second time, we'll say in 40 years, that the Lions have had an organization that consistently produces through the draft, develops players Yes, they missed on some guys. I get that. If you can find a franchise that doesn't miss on anybody, please let me know in the comment section. I'm not aware of them. What we can also say is the Lions, because they've already signed the vast majority of their prospects that they've groomed and developed from within, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Goff, I don't think he's going to see a big drop-off from this year to next year. Same with Aiden Hutchinson, same with St. Brown, Gibbs, whoever else you want to list, Penei Sewell, etc. Lions are probably going to be contenders to go to the Super Bowl for the foreseeable future. Whether you want to say that's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, that's up to you. I do think that as good as the Lions are this year, I actually think they're going to be better next year. We can get into that topic another time. But if you want to see what the plan really has been, and Brad Holmes has said this since the day he's been hired in, it's not to win, this year, to go all in this year. It's to make sure the days of going 0-16, 3 and whatever, 2 and whatever, 5 and whatever, those are behind, at least in his opinion. And I get we all want to win the Super Bowl. Nothing wrong with that. That should be our goal. Every season, every game, we're out here to win. I also get we all want to say, hey, be Howie Roseman, trade those picks, get some players now. There's nothing wrong with that. I would do it. But what we can say is Brad Holmes, these last 5 years, has brought some real stability to the organization. The organization is now considered one of the best ones in the NFL. Let that sink in for those of us who have been struggling with the organization for decades. All right, Giants players comment about Aiden Hutchinson, reek of sour grapes. MSN, story by Lee Ozlock. We'll go with that. I probably killed that name, but it happens. I'm going to read through the quote, then we'll get to you guys momentarily. Quote, how do I say this respectfully? He did not do a dang thing all flipping game. I got to edit that one. He strikes me as the type of guy that would try to celebrate that one play. But for most of the day, I was an island with him, and I didn't do any, and he didn't do anything. Obviously, I got to edit this, less than happy about the last play, but at the same time, there's not much you can do. You know what you're going to do, and he still does it. He still tries to give his best move, and I run him by the quarterback, and he just manages to run back up the field and get the sack. And this is from it's one of the Giants tackles, the one who gave up the final play on the 4th and 5 situation. We get it. Jermaine, I'm going to kill this last name, Ilmure. I think that's actually correct. But anyways, you get it. He's got some sour grapes about giving up the play, the game-winning sack to Aiden Hutchinson. The only thing I can say is I thought the Giants did do a pretty good job blocking Hutch and everybody else on the defensive line. With that also being said, at least I try to go with my eyes more than I go with Pro Football Focus or anybody else's. That may work for you guys. It may not. What I can say is calling that game, watching the line, and I didn't watch every snap, just folks, where's Hutchinson, what's going on? But when I did catch it, I would say the Giants had a pretty good game plan that they were going to commit 2 to 3 guys on him. Now, keep in mind, sometimes that second guy chipped and then released. That slows you down. We all get it. Jameson Winston had 3.5 seconds on average to throw. That's a long time by any standards. What I can also say is Hutchinson, I said it during the live cast. I said it, I think the morning after. He was pretty beat up. I mean, he constantly was getting grinded and hit and pounded by multiple bodies to some degree. He did not have his best game out there. But to me, this comments from the Giants player, hey, I get you're upset that you lost the game. I get that, hey, the game-winning sack went on Jermaine, and hey, he's probably feeling a certain way for maybe letting his team down, at least in his eyes. I don't feel that way. I think Hutchinson, the tackle gave Jameson Winston all the time in the world. The only problem is the Lions defense, give some credit to that back half of the defense. They were locking guys up on the play. There wasn't a lot of separation. And Winston was trying to find, obviously, a way to get a first down or a touchdown. Didn't happen. I would just say tip your hat to Aiden Hutchinson. He got there. He had to be dang winded by that point in overtime, let alone the entire game. Like I said, he was getting doubled a whole lot, tripled some. That entire defensive line was beat up. The entire Lions defense was pretty tired at that point. Still, Hutchinson found a way to make a play. Why run your mouth? I don't know. Probably just emotions and feelings after the game. All right, Lions are worst in the NFL in this offensive passing category. Detroit Lions on SI. Story by John Macaron. And you know what? You might not be wrong with this one, but it is what it is. Only 6.8% of the Lions passing attempts this season have traveled 20 or more yards through the air. 32nd in the NFL per True Media. Currently the fourth lowest rate in a single season over the last decade. We can all have our opinions why the Lions aren't taking more deep shots. I have my opinion. My opinion is they don't have that kind of time to throw. The interior offensive line for the Detroit Lions, you get it. It's completely different than what's been the last few years. Because of that, you got to get rid of the ball faster. Because of that, guess what? Guys don't have more time to go downfield. There's also a growing trend, and I know we talked about this when doing the live cast. In my opinion, since the Cleveland Browns game, and then really you threw gasoline on the fire, I guess you could say, since the Minnesota game. What am I talking about? There are more and more teams playing too high coverage from the safeties, but they're dropping that second guy out after the snap. What does this mean? You're crowding the line of scrimmage. You're trying to put 8 guys in the box. You're trying to kill the running game, trying to kill the shorter, faster routes. And then that second guy is sprinting if it is a pass play that they can identify quickly, and they're taking away some of the deeper routes. Why is this all impactful? Guys are getting home, or teams are getting home, typically with 4 to 5 pass rushers. You've seen it with the Giants. You've seen it with a laundry list of people. Yes, in my opinion, the Lions offensive line played much better in the second half against the Giants. And because of that's why you have a 10-point fourth quarter comeback rally and a win. All that being said, defense has figured out some holes with Lions offense, and that's why I think they can't push the ball downfield. It is tough to throw the ball when you don't have time. It's tougher to throw it when you're saying, hey, under 2 seconds, you got to get rid of it. Most teams are going to take away the shallow crosses. Most teams are having guys take away the center of the field over and over this year. Lions are going to have to figure some ways to beat people deep down the sidelines, maybe with a Tesla, maybe with a Jameson Williams, whoever else you want to list. But until they can block better and get that pass drop back rate over 2 seconds, you're probably not seeing much further deep shots down the field. Maybe occasionally, but you're also asking the offensive line to do something they're not great at. All right, going on too much with that one. Let's go on to the last of the 5 glorious headlines now. We're talking about playoff positioning. And just real quick, discussion. Which NFC contender is most likely to fall out of the playoff race? SB Nation story by Jeremy Risman. All right, let me get this on the screen so you can see it better. We all get it. These are the playoff standings if things were to start today. We also get it that, hey, not everybody on this list is going to make it. So who will make it, in your opinion, Duke Crew? We began the day by saying this game is for all the enchiladas, all the Mountain Dew. Then NFC contenders most likely to fall out, Packers. That is, you can see their winning percentage of the foes they play the rest of the way. Then you got the Bears and Lions. So everybody in the North has got the toughest schedule when it comes to getting to the playoffs. Why is that? Well, part of it is, hey, you look at the Packers, they're going to play the Bears twice. Look at the Bears, they're going to play the Packers twice. Lions are going to play both of them once. You get it. That's some tough competition. Seattle Seahawks, yeah, they don't have an easy road either. The Buccaneers, you could say, man, they might as well just kick back and drink Mountain Dew while kicking their feet up. Why? They play in the South, the NFC South. And the NFC South, we get it. If any one of the top 3 to 4 teams, man, you could just say everybody over the Buccaneers, if they were playing in the South, it would probably already be over with as far as that race. The South isn't very good. And I know there's always talk about, man, should we just say, hey, the top X amount of teams get in, whether you win the division or not, your respective division? I think the NFL needs to stay away from that for one simple reason. From a marketing standpoint, and it is part of sports, whether you like it or not, the NFL has got a real win here. And they understand, as bad as the South is or other divisions in pro football, it keeps interest longer and longer in the season. You start devaluing the divisions, you start devaluing a lot of those games, which means commercial revenue goes down for those respective teams, broadcast rights. There's a lot of stuff in play. End of the day, pro sports are a business. And yes, shout out real quick before I forget to mention it, ticket prices aren't going up next year. It'll be the first time in 5 years the Lions haven't raised prices. I think they've kind of hit a peak. They understand if they go much higher, you're going to probably have a whole lot less people attending the games. And also, for those who didn't see it yesterday, Lions are going to play an overseas game next year. I didn't really want to go on air with it. I didn't think it was that big of a story. But, I get to some people it is. With all this being said, where do you think the playoffs end up being as far as who makes it, who does it, who's on the outside? I think the Lions are going to make it. I don't know if they're going to win the North. I do think they're going to get in the playoffs. The Panthers, hey, talk about a comeback story. Same with the Cowboys. The nice thing about the Lions schedule the rest of the way, you control your own fate. You win tomorrow. You win a week from tomorrow. You know what? You're putting a whole lot of damage and stink on the Green Bay Packers. You're putting a whole lot of damage on the Cowboys. Anybody can win any given Sunday. I get there's still some people that say, man, the Lions beat a 2-and-whatever Giants team. I've shared this thought before. You look at the Giants as a totality. The last 6 games, they have blown 10-point leads in the fourth quarter. Why are you a 2-win team? For that reason. Why are you in all those games with a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter? Because you got some dang good talent, especially both respective lines. And you know what? Yeah, I would just say there's a lot you could say from a coaching perspective, and I'm never going to throw shade at a coach, but there's some things schematically they probably should have done differently. I know I would have done differently, but that's also the beauty of being up here on YouTube or sit in the stands. You're always right 100% when you don't have to make the calls on the field. I'll put it that way. All right, with all that done, set out of the way, I've got some real good news for Detroit Lions fans going into the final 6 games of the season. 1, 2, 3. And dang, I still can't get these things to roll. So, hey, I guess we won't be using the pop-ups here. But let's just say main top of the daytime. And as you can tell, the Lions are going to get some guys back here. I think we all agree that's great news for everybody in the organization. And probably if you're a Lions fan, you're just happy all the way around because you know what? You are going to get some guys coming back. Hey, finally got the thing to work. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, main top of the day. Sometimes you got to have fun in life, right? You got to have a little fun. All right. So anyways, Lions are going to have some people coming back here. Marcus Davenport, it sounds like from all different reports, he's going to be back tomorrow. It also sounds like Terrion Arnold's going to be back tomorrow. Lions going to have a host of guys coming back. They've been having a host of people coming back in recent weeks. And that's just phenomenal news because you know what? The Lions need bodies back on the field. There's no way to get around it. The Lions are one of the deepest teams in football, but you know, some of this depth that they're getting back will be big boons or wins for the organization. You can all have your own opinion about Marcus Davenport. I'm not here to say it's right, wrong, or different. All I am here to say is that, you know what? The Lions are probably going to have one of their most athletic defensive ends out there. Roster moves yesterday, probably could have went on air with it, but you know what? Didn't have time. The team I coach, we had our first scrimmage of the season yesterday, had to focus that, you know, dang coaching duties. Waived Quentin Jefferson, Arthur Mala, and then Nick Whiteside. I really like all 3 of them. I won't be surprised if all 3 of them or 2 of them are going to be back this year. Re-sign Eric Hollett to the practice squad. Why does this matter? Well, obviously you're opening up some roster spots to get people back. Terrion Arnold, he wasn't on the IR. I get that, yada, yada, yada. He's going to be back just fine. But I think you are going to see activations tomorrow. I would fully anticipate one of them is Marcus Davenport, maybe Josh Pascal. But let's also be fair. The thing that's hurting the Lions last week and in recent weeks is I think you're just getting less pass pressure on the opposing quarterback. We went from being number 1 or 2 in the NFL in quarterback sacks to now we're number 7. I get there's tons of YouTubers or beat reporters talking about it. What do you have to do to fix it? Well, you got to, some of it is schematic. Some of it is the talent on the field. We all understand Aleem McNeil is playing more and more defensive end. I think that's great against running downs. The Lions have been fairly good all season long about stopping the opposing run. A couple of, hiccups here and there for sure, but as a totality, they've been pretty dang good about it. But the getting to the quarterback, you want to stop the other team, you want to mess up an offense, well, just use the Lions as your blueprint. The Lions this year, we all get the first 5 or whatever games, that offense was humming all over the place. But then somebody found a hole in your offense. And because of it, everybody else is going to replicate it. Going into the playoffs, I do think Davenport, I don't know if he's going to be a full-time starter again, but I do think he gives you a big guy who can stop the run and get to the quarterback. I can, without even going to the comment section, I know Pierce and everybody else is going to say Davin hurt, Davin whatever. All I know is Davin don't know what we're going to get out of him. I do think he is our best overall defensive end who's not named Hutchinson. He's got size. He's got power. He can get to the quarterback. He can shed a block and get to the running game. He can set an edge. We all get it. He can't stay healthy. So I don't know if they'll play him full-time out there, but if he can give you 12 to 15 impactful snaps a game, that's probably all you can ask from him. Then that probably helps Alaquin Muhammad give you a little bit more. If Muhammad's got to go out there and give you 20 to 30 snaps a game, he's just not effective. He wears down. But if he can give you 10 to 15, rotating with Davenport, I think that's, we'll just say 30 snaps total a game. That's pretty impactful, especially since Aleem McNeil is probably going to get 10 or so snaps during the game. There's only typically 50 to 70 snaps for an offense in the game. So if you can get roughly 60% of them to come from two guys that can actually get to the quarterback with Davenport and Muhammad, you probably got something going on there, and then give the rest to a multitude of players, including Aleem McNeil. Now you get to the secondary. We'd all agree Rocky Sings played pretty dang well in the last half month. We can also agree Terrion Arnold, prior to getting concussed, he was playing pretty lights out for the last 4 games leading into that. Lions going down the stretch. They need wins. They got one of the tougher remaining schedules on planet Earth. You know what? You're getting healthy at the right time. I don't believe we're going to see Kirby Joseph next week. You know, I was talking about it with Hutch Jr. I think maybe there's like a 15 to 20% chance he plays against the Cowboys. But after that, it'd be my anticipation that probably jumps up to about 80% against the Rams and going through the rest of the season. All different reports have him playing pretty well, recovering. There's no more inflammation, yada, yada, yada. You've heard it to death. I think he's going to be back pretty soon. The other big addition to the team, you know, I couldn't get all these people in the thumbnail. It's just been too crowded. As you guys are probably aware that, you know, hey, Miles Frazier is going to be active, if not tomorrow, pretty dang soon. Whether or not he's anything, you, me, everybody in between does not know. The only thing we'd say is in practice, the reports are he's doing pretty dang well. We know he's a big, bad boy in college. We get it. There's a jump from college to the NFL. You seen what Tate Ratledge did at the start of the season when he was a rookie. Where he's at now, I think he's improved quite a bit. You know, and you could throw that around with a couple different things on with different rookies. I watched Tesla. Yes, he isn't catching passes left, right, and center, but you watch some of his footwork, you watch some of his separation. I think he's improving. The only problem is Goff doesn't have time typically to go through progression number 1, option number 2, read number 3. That's where you're going to have to get right now to get to Tesla or other options out there, because option number 1 or 2 is probably going to be St. Brown, Laporta when he was in there, and Jameson Williams. So Tesla, I think some of the reason why he's not getting more reps or stats out there, he's just not able to break as of yet into one of the top 2 options before Goff's got to get rid of the ball. All right, Duke Crew, I've tried to throw a whole lot at you. Am I completely mad and crazy for thinking that Davenport, if he's back and healthy, if he gets 10 to 15 snaps a game, can gravely impact the pass rush? That helps make Muhammad better. Terrion Arnold coming back. You know what? That secondary between him, DJ Reed being back, Rocky El-Singh's kind of emergence. Maybe we could say Amik Robinson out there. You got 4 pretty solid corners that can all play run and get after the pass in man-to-man. And we're starting to get a little bit bigger in that cornerback position too. So with some of the depth, etc. You know, Thomas, we talked about this during the week. I think he's given you everything you could ever hope for as a replacement for Kirby Joseph. So we'll see what shakes out. Miles Frazier, like I said, I don't know. I think he's going to help us, whether or not it's this week, 2 weeks from now, maybe next year. I think he is going to be a find for this team, and he will end up being a real nice addition to that offensive line whenever it happens. All right. I also know some of you guys are going to ask about tomorrow. Yes, there'll be a morning show. I might even be able to do a pregame show before I have to head over to the First Family House. I had thought about maybe leaving the pregame show up. That way, if you guys want to talk to each other during the game, you can do that. But the simple answer is I can't do the live cast. Jen would probably shave my head and kick me out of the house if I was up here during Thanksgiving for to do the live cast versus, you know, being at my family's house, then coming back here to hang out with her family. So hopefully you guys get that. But I will have the morning show. Let me know if you want me to leave a stream up for you guys to communicate during the game. All right, with all that done, said out of the way, let's get over to the Duke Crew comment section and see what you guys have to say today. And again, apologies for some of the intro issues. Couldn't get them to load right away, so that's beyond my ability to do or control. All right, Michael. Greetings, salutations, Coach Dan of the Duke Crew, exclamation point, one prime, woo, back at you, Silver Server. Good morning, Coach and everyone. Always a pleasure to see you. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Bring you all the hits from coast to coast, exclamation point, woo. Hey, that's some Casey Kasem type stuff. Our Silver Server Coach, I think the Lions have a little problem. They put Aleem back in the middle, but realized Tyleek is a better run stopper. Saturday morning inspection showed Tyleek is elite run stopper already. Continue. I agree. I think a Tyleek is pretty dang good. I also think, I know this is why we're talking about Silver in the preseason and during the season. The Lions have a good problem in the fact that you have DJ Reader who's playing phenomenal. You have Tyleik Williams who's playing phenomenal. You have Aleem McNeil come back. So because of attrition, because of injuries, whatever you want to throw out there, I think the Lions came to the determination that a lot of you guys in the Duke Crew came to, that having all three of those guys in the line plus Hutch, that's probably your best defensive line right now. Now, on obvious passing downs, it's probably not. That's probably when you got to take out either Reader or Williams and rotate Aleem the Dream over, and maybe that's where you say, hey, Davenport, Muhammad, Pascal, Barnes, whoever you're going to put that opposite end, that's your best option on passing downs. All right, Detroit Matt, good morning, Duke Crew. Just one more day until Turkey and the Lions win. Woo! And hey, who doesn't like some turkey, especially with some hot sauce while you're watching the Detroit Lions? Michael, good morning, Duke Crew and Coach Dan. We made it to Florida. Congratulations, my friend. 144 miles to Tampa. Happy Thanksgiving to Coach Dan and the best crew in Michigan. Hey, hopefully you have a phenomenal day. Always a pleasure to have you to be a part of the Duke Crew. And again, safe travels, my friend. Silver Server, that is also why they are playing Aleem at defensive end on specific occasions. Yeah, shut down the run, etc. And they've done a pretty good job. That's a massive, massive line to have to run on. Johnny L, good morning, folks. Back at you. Dave, hate to see Whiteside cut, but glad to see, have Terry and Arnold and Davenport back. Me too, my friend. Me too indeed. Big Eddie, Aleem seems to be improving as an end. I would agree. You can see where his footwork's getting better, his hand placement. It's different, but he's getting better. Kind of like it. But are they doing that because because they need more another? Wait a minute, I'm killing this. Are they doing that move because they need another end, or they think he can be something? I think a combination of both. And again, sorry I murdered your comment. Johnny L, they let Whiteside go? Question marks? No, they did. Hey, I like the guy. I like everything about him. He needs more time to develop. Server Khalif has a swollen ankle. Wonder if he will be Tesla time or in JMO. Hold on. Let me be quiet. I said that last week also, and both of them had 0 catches. We get it. JMO had a couple of drops. Tesla didn't. I think he had 1 target. But again, the tough part is Tesla is going to be your number 3 to 4 option in a route typically. So that's why I think he's not getting more throws. Plus, you got to have time to get that deep into the rotation of your options. Trey, what's good, everybody? Question mark. I'm hoping we can block out the Packers D-line more than game 1. I hate Green Bay, but respect what the line can do. Yeah, they've got a phenomenal front four. I think we all get it. And they play really good zone coverage behind them. So that's a tough combination. They're going to take away everything short, intermediate routes on the outs and ends. They're going to bring the safeties up. They'll have 1 drop out of coverage to take away kill shots down the field. But the Lions are going to have to give Goff time. You have to wait for that zone to expand a little bit for guys to get open in those routes. If you can't, man, you're set, and everybody's going to be yelling, I'm sure, if Goff doesn't have time, he gets hits. Well, you got to throw the ball. You got to throw the ball. Unless you want him to throw it to the other team, he has to wait for somebody to come open. And that would be my respectful comments. Let's see, the Rebel 08. Good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Back at you. The Troy Reaver. Good morning, Coach Dan and the Mighty Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Let's go, Lions. Woo! And back at you. Silver, Big Eddie. I don't see Aleem as ever getting fast to the quarterback in clearly running downs. Yes, but remember who he is in the middle. He just got back. Forget all we hear about being 100%. Yeah, coming back from an ACL, it's going to take time to get back to 100%. He's probably 90% now, but he's also probably getting to the point where he's getting a little fatigued in the season. That way, if they can take away some snaps, help him rest up, he kind of re-energize, he's going to get better and better down the stretch. Drake, what up, though, Duke Crew and Coach? Question mark. Davenport has talent and some speed. If that guy can stay healthy, I do feel he's our best D edge other than Hutchinson. Me too. But I wouldn't overly burden him because, again, you want him around for the rest of the season, not just for a game or two. Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan, Duke Crew. What a team. What a podcast. Exclamation point. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! Always a pleasure to see you, Henry. Johnny L, good morning. Hart. All right. Let's see. France. Coach, are you doing a live cast for the game tomorrow? No. I will do the morning show, maybe even a pregame show. Like I said, I can leave the pregame up. If you guys want to talk, just let me know your thoughts. If like 20 or 30 of you guys want it, then I'll just leave it up. All right, Silver Server. Drake, let's see how he is right out of the blocks. We will see. Silver Server. Johnny, I don't think so. Exclamation point. They let Mullet go, which I'm a little mad at as well. Yeah, you can't keep them all, though. That's the tough part. Detroit Sports Talk. Hey, Coach, do you think Miles Frazier plays tomorrow? He's had full participation in the last few weeks. I think there's a real good chance. Obviously it comes down to if he's going to be active. I think if he's active, he's going to be out there in some capacity. I could even see where they run some 6 personnel offensive linemen and have him out there. Dude's a mauler. Whether or not they're going to have him play guard or something, I don't think you're taking out Taylor Decker. So we'll have to wait and see. Detroit Sports Talk again. Good morning, Coach Dan. Lions have 3 open roster spots. I feel like it's going to be Terrion Arnold, Miles Frazier, Marcus Denbour. Yeah, I can see all 3 for sure. Johnny L, I just got out of bed, still shaking out the cobwebs. It happens, my friend. Silver, Detroit Sports Talk. Those 3 are good guesses. I would say so. Susan Scott. So Frazier, Arnold, Davenport are all back tomorrow. We don't know for sure, but my anticipation is yes. Johnny L, me too, Silver, Xavier, hey, good to see you, man. Feels like it's been a couple days. Good. Greetings, salutations, Coach Dan, Duke Crew. Hope everyone has a blessed day. Exclamation point. Lions 21, Packers 17. Go Lions. Woo! Hey, as long as we win, I'm happy. Hey, more. Good morning, Johnny L. Johnny L, give me back the 1970s NFL. Unfortunately, I think that's gone, my friend. Silver, we are going to have to start calling him Tyleik Elite Williams, also known as the Freak who is elite. How about that? 5 verse Friday, fans, Gibbs, quote, fans, Gibbs, how about this? Fans, quote, Gibbs and Campbell were wasted picks, end quote. 3 years later, I never said that, end quote. Fans this year, quote, Tesla, Frazier, Rapp, Williams are all wasted picks, end quote. 3 years later, I never said that. I get it. When you draft a player, a whole lot of the fan base, to your point, 5 fingers, they want people to come in and be stars right away. That's just unrealistic. It happens sometimes, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. It just doesn't happen very often. Most rookies take a few seasons to kind of get vested and figure things out, especially when you're talking about a cornerback or a wide receiver. Very, very few of them come in and just, blow the doors out right away. Also with Tesla, what I would say is, like I was talking about earlier, the hard part for him is he's going to be option number, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 on most routes. And ask yourself this, does Goff in less than 2 seconds have time to get from option 1, 2, 3 to 4? I'm going to guess most of you say probably not. Johnny L, if you think about it, the NFL now is full of pansies, and I mean who's running the show. Could be. Johnny L, congratulations to Lomas Brown. I'll go with that. Let's see. Hookado, good morning. Duke Crew, One Pride. Hits big. What is what I'd like to hear? Oh, yeah, I'll take that. Johnny L, Lomas Brown. Yeah, I knew we were going with that, man. Detroit Sports Talk, protect Jared Goff. You're going to have to, man, the rest of the season. If you don't protect him, your offense is going to be noticeably different. Virgil, so let's know everybody's thoughts. I think tomorrow is our biggest or hardest remaining game. To an extent, I could say you're probably right with that. It's probably the most impactful on the schedule. I'll go with you there. Queen Mary, good morning, Dugru. Happy pre-Thanksgiving and happy pre-Victory Wednesday. I like it indeed. Lomas Brown says Detroit Sports Talk. Hey, Maura, I have never doubted the picks, just the releases. Rookies are just that, rookies. 100%, man, 100%. Trim Reaper, it is my birthday today. Happy birthday, my friend. But all I want is a win tomorrow. Hey, let's get you a win today with a 1, 2, and a 3. Johnny L, good morning, Queen Mary. There you go. Xavier, I hope Lions offensive line plays well this game. They're going to have to with an exclamation point. Detroit Sports Talk, what's everybody's favorite meal at Thanksgiving? Mine is anything with hot sauce, pretty much, especially stuffing with hot sauce. So small. Happy birthday, Trim, Queen Mary. Yes, congrats to Mr. Lomas Brown. I'll take that. Pierce, let's go with Stop It. DDI is not a massive addition. I think he might be, man. Let's see. Johnny L, happy birthday, Trim, the Rebel 08. Our defense will be very formidable once we're healthy. I think so. I mean, think about it. They've been playing pretty well. I get last game was not amongst those good performances, but overall the last couple months they have. Any more happiest of birthdays to my friend at Trim, Mary Smith. Happy birthday, Trim. X Trim Reaper. Let's see, MDDI Hookadoo. Henry, my man Moore, Johnny L, Server, and JDC. If you're listening, yeah, has anybody seen JDC in a while? I feel like it has been a while. Henry, good morning. Pierce, Trim Reaper, happy birthday. Exclamation point. If anything goes wrong, you know who did it. Might be accurate. Steve Rogers, other than Kirby and Christian Mahogany out, I think we are the healthiest team in the North. That could be very, very accurate. Detroit Sports Talk, what's everybody's favorite meal at Thanksgiving? I feel like we just said that. Remember, thank you guys. Let's go Lions! Exclamation point. Oh, yeah, I'll take that. Mary Smith, good morning. Johnny L. Hookadoo, Trim. A Henry Xavier, Hookadoo. Happy birthday, Trim. Henry Moore, a glorious day to you, my friend Hookadoo. Silver. Johnny L., the 1980s and 90s weren't bad either. The biggest, baddest players I've ever seen, but 70s, question mark, I still think about Larry Gazanka, Dolphins halfback, fullback, elbowing defenders who carrying the ball. Yeah, it was a different time in football for sure. Different time in life. Johnny, what happened to JDC? I hope he's okay. I haven't seen him in a while. I think you guys said you saw him on another show once upon a time, but it has been a minute since I've seen him. Remember, hail to the Queen. Queen Mary, good morning, Silver. Hookadoo, DDI was invited to the birthday party. Oh, boy. How about that? Mary Smith, mine is the dressing. Let's see. Pat, what do you got? Good morning, Duke Crew and Coach. I am looking forward to tomorrow's game, and I am high hopes that we exact our revenge on both the Packers and the Vikings and then sweep the Bears. I like it indeed. Any more? Good morning, Mary. Woo! I'll take that. Silver, Hookadoo, morning. You can see Hookadoo, good morning, Hookadoo, and Queen Mary. I'll go with that. I'll see Big D, Grip Morning, Duke Crew. Hope you have a blessed day. Back at you, my friend. Johnny L. Silver, I love the 60s through the 90s. Trim Reaper, I called the Ute Bowl, Green Bay versus Detroit. Just want the bragging rights. Let's see if we can get them for you. Hey, more. My favorite is pie, hot pie, cold pit, and more pie. All right? Hookadoo, my Queen Mary, the land of grit. Good morning. Attila the Hun. Loved Whiteside, but he has barely played any snaps since the Tampa Bay game. This is accurate. Lionel, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew Worldwide. Exclamation point. Looks like it's going to be a white Thanksgiving blizzard up here. 22 inches expected by tomorrow morning. Woo! Exclamation point. Safe travels, everyone. Yeah, to your point, I know, I think it's supposed to start right about now down where I live in Southwest Michigan. We're supposed to get like 7 or 8 inches by tomorrow. So hopefully we can hold off. We got another scrimmage today at noon. So I'm hoping that it's not too bad for it. Silver, Trim Reaper, good morning and happy birthday, Trip. There you go. Johnny when you got Johnny L, great morning to you, Mr. Hookadoo. Hookadoo, the Lions are going to be so hot the cheese is going to burn with an exclamation point. Oh, yeah. Trim Reaper, thanks, Silver. Silver, all right, keep it real. I want Detroit to draft Christian Watson. I am also super happy with JMO, but Watson is a concern to me. Should be. He's a player. Same old soup, just reheated. Good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew, and same to you. Detroit Sports Talk, I like Jameer. Is going to go crazy this game. I feel like he's going to too, man. Let's see, Brandon, 3 people coming back. Who are they? Don't know for official, but I'd say the betting favorites right now are Miles Frazier, Davenport, Terrion Arnold. Sports Talk, hey, Coach, how do you think the Lions defense has played this season? I feel like they played really good. I think they have too. Now, I understand the Giants roasted them for 500-plus yards. A lot of that, in my opinion, came down to the Giants' offensive line. We talked about it leading into the game. They're a massive unit, and they're a good unit. I know a bunch of teams reached out to them about trades. I don't know if the Lions contacted them. I know the Lions talked to the Saints, and I don't remember somebody else about trading for offensive linemen, but it wasn't there. I would say this. The Giants know what they have on their offensive and defensive line. They're probably going to be good for a few years. If they get things figured out, they could have just as easily this year have 8 wins as they do 2 or 3 or whatever they have. Dennis, good morning. Back at you, Dennis. Getting Gibby with it. Let's make that happen. Trim, Detroit Sports Talk. Hopefully we get Kirby back soon. I think so. Probably the next week or 2. Johnny L, that would be great to find another Lomas Brown in the next draft for a left tackle. I would agree. He's one of the best ever. The non-laughers, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew starters. Exclamation point. I think we can win, but we need to start fast. Defense gets back to itself. 28-17 Lions. I like the way you're foretelling the future. Lauren Lions, great and salutations, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Let's go, Lions. Woo! Detroit Sports Talk. Nick Whiteside was released. It is accurate. Let's see, reversion of the meeting. Good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. Brian Branch liked that button on the way out. There you go. Smash it if you would. Lauren, good morning, Duke Crew. Same to you. Keith, though, just pray we keep Parsons under control. Gonna have to, man, or he can wreck a game. Trim Reaper, Magnetic. Let's see. John Meadows, a massive addition, laughing out loud. I think from a depth standpoint, all of them, getting him back healthy, it's going to be a massive upgrade. Again, I've offered my thoughts. I'm sure you caught them, but I think it just gives you more rotation. You take away, I understand what they're doing with the Lee McNeil, Lacey, Wheat, and everything. You want to get big, stop the run. But there are passing downs where you need to get to the quarterback. I don't mind Muhammad, but I think if you're going to ask him to be the sole representation opposite Hutchinson to get there consistently, he's just going to wear out and get beat up. He does have a knee injury. Having Davenport back, I think just gives you another rotation piece. King Hashtag, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Same to you. Silver, okay, Johnny. Johnny L, they say Whiteside release. Hopefully they get him back. We'll see if they can get him back. Southwest, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. Woo! Go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Dr. Detroit, if we don't win, playoffs are going to be over, I fear. Don't win tomorrow, you're going to put yourself in a hole. There's no way around it, to your point, Dr. Detroit. But you know what? You win, you get in. Or at least you gravely improve your chances. Keto, let's flip and go. Lomas, hope he gets in. I think we're all cheering for him. One Pride, good morning, Duke Crew, and a very happy Turkey Day to all. Thank you for that. We'll see you tomorrow with that one. Let's see, Detroit, Gritty City Media. What up, Duke Crew? Let's get pumped up, exclamation point, amped up and ready for the showdown. Let's make that all happen. Dr. Detroit, Lomas is no-brainer. I would think so. And he does have a Super Bowl ring, maybe 2. I can't remember. I know he has at least 1. Hookadoo, yo, Dan, did you give Dan O'Damas the wrong address again? No, he'll be on tomorrow morning, my friend. Trim Reaper, happy Thanksgiving. Duke Crew, exclamation point, good to see you. Robert, the Lions can get the best defensive players back. Sorry, they won't matter if they give up 20 points or more. Let's see if they can keep them under 20 then. Silver Star Coach, have you seen how Green Bay used Parsons hitting the offensive lineman from a linebacker position? It didn't look scary. He's one of those freak athletes after all. Yeah, he's very, very athletic. There's no doubt about that. Johnny L., I remember hit thumbs up speech for Mike Utley. Yes, thumbs up for Mike Utley. Detroit Sports Talk, run the ball, use running back Jameer Gibbs and Dave Montgomery often. The Packers defense struggles against the run, so running well will control the game and set up other plays. Let's see if we can do that. I like it. Robert, laughing out loud, no, he won't unless he wins 1 Super Bowl. All right. Let's see, Dr. Trey, I worked with Lomas on his big man camps. Great human. Yeah, everybody I've ever known who's met him. Again, my interactions with him have just been media-based. But I'll say the same thing. Dude's, pretty funny, happy-go-lucky, just a good guy. Egon, well, don't worry. Hutch is good for great, according to the doomsdayers in here. Not is good, not great. Okay, I'll go with that. I'll go. Sorry, I messed that up, Egon. See, Gritty City Media, Gibbs is going to get 50-plus touchdowns. Could be. The Rebel, congratulations, Lomas. Exclamation points. Woo! Dr. Detroit. Hutch is good, not elite, but it's possible for him, but he isn't Garrett. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I was talking to the wife about it. If you ask me, he's like an 8.5, maybe a 9 out of 10 on everything. And that's his biggest strength is he doesn't have a weakness. Myles Garrett, if you need to be Lawrence Taylor to be good, then you know what? Or Myles Garrett, then, fine. Maybe he's not those guys, but he's just a notch below him. And that's pretty dang hard to find. Joseph, wake and bake. I like the way you're thinking. Steve, comb your hair. This is just how I do my hair, my friend. Let's see, Robert. Gritty, he might get 51, but he's still not enough to win a Super Bowl. Maybe. Media, fist bump all the buttons, if you would, please. That would be great. Hit all the buttons, if you would. Egon, yep, just Garrett by himself in Cleveland. Nobody else on that front line just helping him. Yeah, in my opinion, I get what you're saying, Egon. The Cleveland Browns have one of the best defensive fronts in the league. That's why you can't really send 3 guys to block 1 guy. All those guys can just roast you. Tremere, what would Dan O'Damas do? We'll find out tomorrow. Detroit Sports Talk, use home field. The energy at Ford Field on Thanksgiving can help the team start strong and keep momentum. I like the way you're thinking. Dr. Detroit, Dan O'Damas hiding? Until tomorrow, you are correct. Silver, no. Leave Barry Sanders alone. Barry never played in such an offense. Barry ate, trained, and lived over 30 years earlier. Gibbs, phenomenal. Barry is all-time freak category like Bo. Yeah, like Bo Jackson. I'll go with that. Johnny L., Dr. Detroit, there are no other Myles Garretts. He's just the freak show. He is a freak show. Let's see, Sports Talk, home field, the Energy 40. Okay, got that one. Egon, elite is a class, not a person. Maybe. Broski, Jameson Williams is going to need to make an appearance in order to beat the Packers. Jet sweeps, end around, something downfield needs to be a presence. Yeah, you need to get them involved for sure. Dr. Detroit, right, Johnny? You are so right. Exclamation point. So how much is Garrett paid and how much do we pay Hutch? We'll go with that. The only thing I can say, Dr. Detroit, is the next person up to get a new contract is going to get paid more. Let's see, the Trim practice. We're talking about practice. Parsons is elite. I think he is against the pass. I think Hutch is better against the run. My opinion, doesn't have to be yours. Pierce, Dr. Detroit, You can't blame Micah for Hutchinson's deal. No, you can't. And I would say one thing helping Micah is he does have, I think, overall some better pass rushers with the Packers than what Hutchinson has here as far as teammates on the line. I don't know about against the run, but against the pass, at least that's my thought. Sports Talk guy, limit big plays. Lions gave up several big plays in their recent win over the New York Giants against a divisional opponent. Avoiding these mistakes will be critical. I'll go with that. Robert, Lions fan for over 45 years here. If they make the playoffs, they won't win unless the O-line changes. Yeah, could be. We'll have to, only one way to find out, right? Get there. Silver Server, Detroit Sports Talk, you are knocking on an open door as far as money goes. I would start him every single game. Robert, Brad Holmes has done his job. Time for him to move on next year. Okay. Media, multiple Super Bowls loading. Let's hope so. Trim River, surely I won't get faded today. Let's hope not. Dr. Detroit, let's see if we're good. Exclamation point. No win, no playoffs. Okay. Moonscar Blade, good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you, my friend. Silver Server, didn't we say how many times have we seen unknown opponent set some record against Lions? Although through the years, question mark, it happened with the New York Giants, but what has changed is that Detroit won. Yeah, for those who are upset that we won and it was close, I don't know. Everybody has their opinion. Mine, I think the Giants are pretty good. I think there's a reason why they're in every game this year and why they nearly win every game. That also being said, to your point, Silver Surfer, many of us long-suffering Lions fans know prior to the last 5 years, we would have found a way to blow that game. Where now we find ways to win those games. Let's see, Moonscar, I say, Broski Bear, what up, Moonscar? Professor Steele, what up, though, Duke Crew? Exclamation point, Henry Moore, good morning, Professor Steele. Dr. Trent, what up? Don Lavers, Hutch was double-teamed every play and was chipped the heck out of him. Yes, I agree with that fully. Media, Hutch is great. I think he's pretty dang good. Let's see, Professor Kurt Steele, I'm doing Thanksgiving prep, about to smoke a turkey. Hey, don't forget to send some to my address. Johnny L., good morning, Professor. Silver Server. Now, Coach, that Bates kick that went back inside, that was spooky. It might have been Bobby Lane and gazing it. Yeah, for those who didn't see it at the start, I played this. Let's see if I can throw it to you guys. But watch the body language for the Giants players.
Bates is ready. Snap, spot, kick away. It is up, and it is good. He got it. Jake Bates. Bates is ready. Snap, spot, kick away. It is up, and it is good.
I mean, I think that video is priceless. All right, moving on here, and I got 8 minutes left, so let me power through the comments, get people on who haven't been on as much. Queen Mary, good morning, Professor Steele. Hope happy prep Thanksgiving. I'll go with that. Brandon, he just made he lose. Okay. Ron, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan, Duke Crew. Hutch is coming off that nasty injury next year. I think he will be his old self. Yeah, he's pretty good this year, but to your point, maybe he'll even be better next year. Cynthia, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. We really need some good news. Come on, Lions. Let's do this. I like the way you're thinking. Brandon, man, sometimes we all get mad. Jay, good morning, guys. Go Lions from Green Bay. Hopefully having a good time over there. Trim Reaper, good morning, Cynthia. Media, Hutch is great. Batman just needs Robin, Davenport, Ahmed. Could be. Maybe a combination of all of them. Mr. Dr. Detroit, yeah, there's always next year. There always is, man. Unless the world comes to an end, there always will be. Let's see. Ken, good morning, everybody. Woo! Exclamation point. Wishing everyone a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Big Lions win would definitely would help me making it amazing Thanksgiving. Let's make it an amazing Thanksgiving for all in the Duke Crew. Hookadoo. Good morning, Miss Little Cynthia. Let's see. Sports Talk. What do you got? Control the tempo with their rushing attack. Avoid turnovers from quarterback Jared Goff and generate more defensive pressure than in the previous matchup. I'll go with that. Extreme, what do you got? The Lions are currently out of the playoffs. Thursday is a must win. I concur. Again, you can lock somebody down a whole game until the most important moment and then an L, and he's salty. I think that's it. He's basically salty. All right, any more? Good morning, Cynthia. Robert, bring a fullback into the game. He might give Goff an extra second or two. Yeah, they've played some with basically a tight end, is it? But I get your point. Riley, Coach Dan and Duke Crew, strong 100%. Good to see you, my friend. It is dang early where you are. Chung, I've got the fever, and the only cure is Dan O'Damas. You'll have to tune in tomorrow morning then, my friend. Let's see, Robert, Detroit Sports Talk, how do you control the clock when the O-line gets blown up every other play? I thought they played well in the second half. Everybody can have their own opinion, though. That's just mine. Johnny L., Pierce out for the day, just going to listen. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Kick back and listen, my friend. Courtney picking the Lions to win the North. I like it indeed. Hookadoo. Pierce, did you hear that? Question mark. We'll find out. Trim Reaper. Davenport definitely did it. Could be. Let's see. Pierce, Hookadoo. I missed it. What happened? We'll find out. Joseph, rooting for Davenport. Me too. Because I think if you're rooting for him, he would help the team out if he can come through. We'll see if he can. Hookadoo. Dan said Davenport is back tomorrow. That is the anticipation that him, Frazier, Terrion Arnold, maybe it's somebody else, but those would be my 3 leading anticipations. Detroit, Sports Talk in Davenport, I trust. Going to have to. Pierce, in a Met, I trust at this point. All right. Pierce, Professor Steele, Davenport needs to be on a snap count until playoffs. That's where I'm going with it. Can we get him 10 to 15 snaps a game, rotate with Muhammad, Aleem, and whoever else you want to throw in there. All right, looking for people who haven't been on as much. Eddie, I liked Mullet, but it is what it is. I am glad Davenport is back, but can he stay on the field? And I think Davenport will be in limited place. Yeah, probably on pitch count, right? Broski Bear, Davenport contributes an injury timeouts. There you go. Yeah, he has a role, right? Egon, I love it. Hey, you got to love it when you're on the show. Joseph, let's just say I'm rooting for Davenport. Me too. TA back tomorrow? I think so, Professor Steele. Cynthia, good morning, Queen Mary. Hey, Trim and Hookadoo, all the above. Looking for people. We got 4 minutes left, so I got to power through, find people I haven't been on as much. Vernon, good morning, Coach. The Duke Crew, exclamation point. Coach, in my opinion, we need to get Knuckles involved early without a run game. Without a run game, we will become one-dimensional, makes teams stop us. Good, go bad to pounding the ball. We'll go back to pounding the ball. How about that? Eddie, I would like to see Kirby Joseph play versus the Cowboys on a limited playing time to get back in game shape. We'll see if they can do that. Bo, sorry, Ramlo, did you get passed by? We'll find out. Let's hope not. Let's see. Looking for people who haven't been on here as much. Let's see. Pat, what do you got? Davenport will be fine from here on out. Let's hope so. Ed Adventures, good morning. Back at you. Till of the Hun is Davenport hated is Davin stupid. The Davenport hate is Davin stupid. I'll go with that. Mastoff, let's get out of the cheese graders. Let's go Lions. Let's grade up those cheese heads. I like the way you're foretelling. Brian, imagine waiting 10 games for a guy to come back for 15 snaps per game. Davenport will be good for 2 games, get hurt again. Let's hope not, man. Let's see. Long, what do you got? If the offensive line play is good, we are going to win the game tomorrow. Let's go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Big Belly Lou. I know it doesn't say on that screen. For if somebody still has that link that people can use to edit their name back, please throw that in the comment section. I don't have any more. Egon, those haircuts are dangerous. That's what I've been told. I like my hair the way it is, but I get some people don't. Moonscar, biggest bar day of the night, year tonight. Duke Crew, inquiring minds want to know, will Dan have a drink in the lanes tonight? No, I won't drink at the bowling lane, especially if the weather's going to be bad. What does the Magic 8 Ball says? No, I might have a beverage, when I get home, but it'll probably be one. I just don't really drink that much anymore. Let's see, Bo, that's why I quit getting haircuts. Hey, I like the way you're thinking. Bruno, happy early Thanksgiving to all the Duke Crew families. Coach, can I get a woo from Sheila Hamp? Hey, let's see if we can fit one in here. 1, 2, 3. I just got to find it on the respective screen. I'm looking. Everything's moved around. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Okay, there you go. Let's see. What do you got? Ads 41-15. Lions are waiting for Davenport, Hasani, and Pascal to get back to play defensive end. Aleem probably moves back to defense staff. Probably accurate. Yeah, probably. All right, looking for more. We haven't been on here as much. Jerome Hutch has a 6'7" motor. I think you are correct with that. Queen Mary, 2 Lions Talk Live crew. Have a blessed day. And remember, the meaning of Thanksgiving. Spread love and joy. God bless. Well said. Hopefully you have a phenomenal day. Broski, the Magic 8 Ball says Dan will have a drink tonight, drunk off lemonade. Yeah, maybe. More Mountain Dew. Could be off Mountain Dew. Black Jared Jones, Baby Grit. I like the way you're thinking. Johnny Gaz Sports, happy Thanksgiving week. Dan and Duke Crew. Hopefully you and the family have a great time. And what do you got? Bears versus Eagles. Know who I'm rooting for in that game. Bo, Bears play Eagles. Correct with that. Moonscar. Broski, I would be surprised if he has one drink, maybe with Sarge's influence. Yeah, Sarge will be MIA tonight. I think they're not going tonight, so it'll just be 2 of us here tonight bowling. Rondo, late to the party. Good morning, crew. Back at you. Johnny Gaz, can the Lions offensive line protect Goff enough to keep the offensive rhythm? They're going to have to, otherwise it's going to be a Debbie Downer. All right, Randall, good morning, crew. Back at you. Burns, you are picking your family and wife over us. Boo. Yeah, it happens, man. It's either that or I'm going to get beat down pretty bad. Professor, the Boss Up Ball Out Lions Packers preview airs at 8 a.m. following Lions Talk Live. We'll check it out. Pierce Sargent, Hookadoo, all jokes aside, but I doubt it. Okay. Let's see, Derek, I'm not sure if Green Bay defense line is where we want to test Frazier. We'll have to find out. I don't know, my friend. I don't know. Randall, after week 1, it's going to be a great game. I think you are right, Cynthia. It's your debut, Frazier. Let's go! Exclamation point. I like the way you are thinking. Lauren, the Lions, happy birthday, Trim. Derek, I don't disagree. Pierce Sargent. Verno, so coach, what do our secondary look like with the guys coming back? I get there's still some rust on them, but I think it's gonna be pretty dang good. Of course, I will also say this: if you give a quarterback 3 to 4 seconds to throw, it's gonna be hard for anybody to cover anybody for a length of time. NFL receivers, even the number 3 to 4 to 5 guys, they're gonna get separations. They're gonna get open. You've got to get pressure on the quarterback. I say, Madly, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Back at you, my friend. Cynthia, please, special team, step up with an exclamation point. Hookadoo. Don Burr was rude to JDC. He's been gone since then. Well, don't be rude to people, guys. I mean, be kind to each other. I mean, it's one of the golden rules in life. Treat other people the way you want to be treated, right? All right, Broski Bear, is Dan mentioning hot sauce at Thanksgiving multiple times code for something? No, I just like hot sauce. I put that stuff on just about everything. Jay, the northwest part of the UP is going to get blasted with snow, calling for up to 40. Is that 40 inches? Stay safe to people in the UPs out there. Man, that's a whole lot. Trim Reaper, maturity is an age. It's a destination. I like the way you're thinking. Big D, shout out to Trim. Happy birthday, brother. There you go. See, Manly, good. Let's see, Cynthia, defense line, happy Thanksgiving. Thursday, must win, go Lions. We'll take all the above. Big D, yeah, buddy, hope it's a great one for you. Let's hope so. It's a happy birthday for him. At Adventures, I see us going forward down to 14 at night, December 1st. I see it's going to be down to 14 degrees. Okay, sorry about that. I murdered that one. Brian, Dan, did you say Hutch doesn't have a weakness? That's hilarious. I don't think he does. I don't think he's elite at a whole lot of stuff, but I don't really think he has a weakness. Brian, if you have thoughts on what his weakness is as a defensive lineman, let me know what it is. Yeah, why, Brian? That I don't know, Bo. Hilarious. Yeah, sometimes you got to be funny, right? Goes too deep over pursues. Okay, goes too deep over pursues. All right. Joseph, wow, that is hilarious. Brian, every player has a weakness, but maybe Garrett. All right, Broski Bear. Why is it hilarious, Bo? I don't know. We'll find out. A few more. T-Herd, offensive line has to force their will. Yes, indeed. I think you are correct with that. T-Herd, protect Goff. It's our only chance. I concur. Let's see, Brian. I'm calling 31 to 21 Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Bo, I'm roasted every day, broski. T-Herd, Decker has to dominate. We'll see if he can. Coach Tanya K, hey, Coach and Duke Crew, happy Thanksgiving to all. Let's go Lions, 22-16 Detroit. Let's make that one happen. All right, Moonscar Blade, division rivals, short week for both teams. My optimism isn't as high as others. I see more 21-20. Hey, a win is a win, though, right? Brian, hi, we'll go with that. Him laughing out loud. Let's see, Great Lakes, just win, baby. Hopefully you're healing up, my friend, and having a good one. Bo Booth, hi! Exclamation point. Let's see. Hookadoo, happy trails, Duke Crew, One Pride, Worldwide. I wonder why Kurt banned Brian from Boss Up Ball Out. I don't know, man. I don't know. Thigh Stick, we'll say that. Let's see. Brandy Coffee, go Lions! Exclamation point. FTP. Well, I will concur. Decker to guard, in your opinion, maybe in the future. Bruce Bear, enjoy that boat. Great Lakes. Bears finally play some decent teams. They do indeed. Brian, skip Tampa Bay, skip TP. I don't know what that means. All right. Let's see. Lauren Lions, happy trails, Duke Crew. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Go Lions, One Pride, Worldwide. Woo! Exclamation points. Derek, remember the good tie stick, Bo Booth, Great Lakes. Giants are better than the record. I would agree 100%. It doesn't have to be everybody else's opinion, but it is in my opinion. Egon, greatness is anyone's year. All right. Great Lakes, it's anyone's year. Sorry about that. Killed that one. Bo, happy trails, Duke Crew. See you tomorrow. We'll see you then. Let's see. Christian Conway, good morning, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and be safe and blessed. Yes, be safe out there. Great Lakes is never flat. I'm down with that. All right, guys, I'm going to get you out of here. If there is breaking news later today, I'll get to you as soon as possible. If you want to be so kind, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. Take care. Enjoy your day. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. Be a great human being. We'll see you guys all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.